Hi everyone, this is Balazs from RacingBrick and this is my second video from the summer 2025 Technic releases. You could already see the Nissan Skyline from Too Fast Too Furious, finally a licensed car with an interesting play function, but today I will show you something completely different. It's also a licensed vehicle, but the similarity ends here. This is the Volvo L120 electric wheel loader. LEGO apparently has no plans to stop using somewhat confusing names for certain Technic sets, because both the Mack LR electric garbage truck and the Volvo FMX truck and EC230 electric excavator had the term electric in their name, but they weren't, actually electric. No powered up components, the real vehicles are electric. It may be obvious to most people, I didn't expect these sets to include electric components based on the price and the fact that LEGO never calls its RC sets electric, but some of you found this practice misleading. Anyway, here we are again. You can see the loader in action on a usual construction site. I have to say that I prefer these LEGO boxes to the boring 18 plus black backgrounds. I doubt this set is more complicated than that one from a building point of view. The back of the box shows us a different angle, some data about the real vehicle and more details and features of the LEGO set. Let's open the box. The set has 973 pieces, the release date is the 1st of June and the price is €100 or $120. We get 8 numbered bags, an unnumbered one, 4 tires and the bucket. No additional information in the manual, but the functions are explained, which is great. I haven't seen that in Technic sets for a long time. There are the same pictures at the end that are on the box. Here's the parts list if you are interested. Now let's start building. The build begins with the central joint of the machine. We already have some interesting connections with half beams. We have a total of 3 universal joints, and now it's time to add the 9 module long flip-flop beams to brace everything together. These only existed in white so far. This is the end of phase 1. If you are interested in all the recolors in this set, I recommend checking out New Elementary's article on the June Technic releases. Adding more gears and even more, then comes this heavy-duty differential, which is connected to the axle at the bottom. Here's the second differential. Make sure they are pointing in the opposite direction. A little bit more reinforcement, and off back too. You can see how these light bulb pieces act as limiters on the oscillating axle. That's going to be its range of motion. The other axle is fixed. We can also test the drivetrain and make sure all the axles are turning in the same direction. Whoever designed this set must be a big fan of half beams. I like the approach. Even more gears and a tricky way to mount this assembly. The fairly new half-star connector strikes again. This time it is used to support these barrels, which represent the electric motor, and they will be driven like this, a very nice solution. These rare green links are used for the steering. Connector number 4 in yellow. This is a very useful comeback. This part was used in 2000 in a single set in yellow. That was the legendary power puller. The price for these parts is insane on Bricklink compared to the more common colors. Luckily that will change soon. Did I mention that you will learn a lot about half-beam structures in this set? Oh yes, I did, but I'm happy to repeat it. The whole assembly goes here, then I add these 2 gears and off back 3. Wow, look at that! The 5 module long light bluish grey CV joint from the Ford GT finally used in another set. So, if this is a 9+ set, then all of those 18+ age ratings for Technic should be divided by 2. This is how we are transmitting the power from the differential through the blue gear to the red gear on top, using an axle that does something completely different. By adding that missing gear, the differential now drives the electric motor. Apparently I made a mistake earlier with the positioning of these parts. Luckily I was able to correct it easily. Phase 4 is complete with this angled panel here. We are at the halfway point. Just look at the density of the build, very impressive. The engine cover has some nice solutions to achieve that angled position. It's a little unusual to see a minifigure accessory on a Technic set. And it's not the last one. We have a bottle on this system assembly, which has some controls, and the steering wheel comes here. The roof also has a lot of system parts, and then the hand-of-God steering knob is added, end of phase 6. More details and another control knob have been added, and now it's time to open the last bag. This is quite a complex linkage with the linear actuators. There are a number of things to pay attention to, from the length of the actuators to the position of the gears. The installation also requires some attention, and after a few small details we can add the wheels. These rims return in yellow after a single appearance in 2011, and this is the debut of these tires in a Technic set after the 1989 Batmobile and the Ninjago set. The final element is the only new mold this time, the 8x16 bucket. It has some nice details, and here's a size comparison with the one from the big brother, the Volvo L350F wheel loader. It gets the last two stickers, then it is mounted, and we are done. So here's our finished wheel loader, and I have to say that I haven't been this happy to build a construction machine in a long time. It is reasonably sized, literally packed to the brim with gears, moving parts and interesting building solutions, and it looks pretty good too. Here you can see the full range of motion of the bucket and arm. Since we have linear actuators, it takes a while to reach one end from the other, but in the meantime, precise control is possible, unlike with pneumatics for example. The steering is operated with the knob at the top, the turning radius is quite decent. This entire section can be opened to reveal the electric motor. These barrels rotate when the vehicle is in motion. Unfortunately, there is no locking mechanism here, as you will be trying to lift it up by the mudguards. I suggest lifting it by the roof, it's solid enough for that, just like the whole construction. There are some small details worth checking out, like these flaps on the sides that reveal some electric components, also the charging port here. Many of you have asked if it fits on the trailer from the previous Volvo electric set. Yes, it definitely fits and looks great. I'm not sure if the scales really match, but if you want to play with them together, they are perfect. As you could see during building, only the rear axle moves. This is probably the maximum it can handle. So, is there anything to complain about? I mentioned the engine cover, it could have a locking mechanism. Another small annoyance is this light right next to the hand of God steering knob. It might be its correct position on the real machine, but it makes steering a bit difficult. Other than that, I've seen people complaining about this blue gear. Well, it's a Technic set, we have green and blue ones sticking out here, but this one is really fully visible. If it really bothers you, you can simply replace it with a grey 22 bevel gear, the steering will still work, problem solved. And that's it. So, is it worth €100 or $120? If we look at the RRPs in this range on LEGO.com, there's the VTOL spaceship, which is a fun and innovative set. The NASA Perseverance was also interesting, but probably very niche, and then there's the Ford GT on the other side. LEGO offers very few Technic construction machines these days, and I think this is an absolute hit for the price. If you think it's expensive, well, 8265 cost $80 16 years ago, which would be almost exactly $120 today. And as always, this is just the RRP. I've seen the set on pre-order for less than €80 at various retailers. For that price, it's a must-have for anyone who likes Technic. I haven't seen so much functionality and cool solutions in a relatively compact set since the 2022 all-terrain vehicle maybe. So folks, please let me know what you think of this set. Will you be getting it? Let's talk about it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications as more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.